All right, step one, you will need to place a lap cloth over your work table. If you do not have a lap cloth, you can use a trash bag in its place. You will need to have a supply of paper towels that are pre-folded for the individual tattoo you are doing. I use mine that are pre-wet because I don't like using spray bottles. You will need to apply a gob of A&D ointment or petroleum jelly or Vaseline to the setup. I usually place mine on the opposite side of the paper towels. Next, you will apply your ink caps, which the best way to do that, to apply it to the lap cloth, is to use the ointment to stick it down. I do not recommend small ink caps, and I do not recommend substituting ink caps with other things like bottle caps or lids or anything of that nature. It needs to be an actual ink cap for tattooing. It is now time to pour your inks. You need to apply the inks that you need into the ink caps and use plenty of it. Do not ever, never, ever refill an ink cap during a tattoo. That is cross-contamination. Now you will pour your stencil goo. Now you can place your disposable needles and tubes and an unused disposable razor onto the setup. Unglove and reglove to set up the machine. Now it is time to plug in your power supply and your power cords. Now with the new pair of gloves again, it is time to plug in, or set up rather, your lining tube and needle into the machine, which you're going to want to open that directly in front of your customer. You always let your customers watch as you open your equipment. I usually go ahead and open up the shader too, but I leave it in a dry, clean area, safe on the setup. The customer needs to watch you wear gloves for every part of the setup process, tattoo process, and they need to watch you open up everything that you use, your equipment, everything, to pour on your inks, all of that good stuff. Make sure that your machine is set up away from the setup table, from the setup area. It needs to be at least 6 to 8 inches away on a separate lap cloth, or a trash bag. This does not ever need to touch your setup or your customer. Also, don't forget, at some point before the tattoo begins, you will need a disposable cup of water somewhere on the setup. I usually use styrofoam or a plastic cup. You need a small to medium sized cup for this.